Dr. Lauren, my Lauren. It's so nice to have you here for my first British Vogue assignment.
This is a big deal for me. I appreciate being here.
Okay, so where should we start? You know, Girls Talk started with my own journey through mental health. Let's talk about mental health.
Let's do it.
Are we breaking the stigmas?
You know, people don't like to advertise that they have diagnoses still, and that's because the stigma is still alive. You know, I've had many parents come into my office and I'll say, you know, she struggles with major depressive disorder, and they'll say, do we have to tell her? I'm like, well, damn, I think she knows. But people still don't, do we have to tell her? I'm not kidding.
How did you hear about Girls Talk?
I just came upon Girls Talk on social media, and then I checked out the website, and through an email through the website, I was like, you need me, you need me. and they're like, we do.
I wished for you. I'm not joking. We had done an event and we were like, we need someone who knows. Like, we can't do this by ourselves anymore, and we need someone who both balances being someone's friend, but also is trained.
You know, Girls Talk, it's not therapy, right? So it's a community, it's not therapy. And so there are a lot of times that people need individual psychotherapy. And so we find the name of a person in their area who would work with them. So we make sure that we find the solution for the problem at hand. You know, if somebody is in a tough situation, I have to read that immediately and say, okay, and refer them.
But every time we do an event together, I can't wait till the next one. I can't wait to get to the next city, to tell the next girls. And every time we go to a new place, it's the same girl.
It's the same girl, whether we're in Berlin or we're in the UK or we're in the US, doesn't matter, because we're all receiving the same social messaging.
Why did you become a psychologist?
The reason that I'm a psychologist is because it's my mission. I was a dancer before I was a psychologist. And when I closed the dance chapter and opened the chapter of psychology, I thought, okay, so now I'm gonna become a clinician. And so I'd go in my gray slacks and my black shoes, and I'd sit down and I'd say, how was your week? And it felt kind of unnatural, honestly, because I always just wanted to be part of other people's solutions because I had struggled so much on my own. And then I started to bring little pieces of me into my work. And I'd say, you know what? When I was going through that, this song kind of got me through it. Let's look at this poem. Let's move a little bit. And so now we dance, we sing, we read poetry, and we used evidence-based strategies.
What does it mean to you?
It's a huge responsibility. But you know, I was a girl, I'm a woman, and a psychologist. And so many of the things that they're going through today, I've been there. So there's nothing that they go through that I think, oh boy, not really quite sure about that. I'm like, yeah, and then I bet it feels like this, right? This is what we're gonna do.
What were some of the experiences that you went through that got, you know, that kind of started this off?
What a loaded question that is. I just never felt comfortable in my skin. You know, this process has been 3 to 4 decades in the making. It was everything from anxiety disorders. I had panic attacks. There were times that I literally counted to 14 when I peed. And if I didn't make it to 14, I would go out, drink more water, and go back in the restroom and try to make it to 14 the next time. And I didn't feel like it would feel okay until I did that. I was always either high highs or low lows. My mood would go up and down like a roller coaster. And sometimes it would feel like, oh, like I want to do this, but I can't quite get there, you know? And then body image concerns and eating disordered behavior. You know, there were times that I'd spend 4 hours in the gym at a time. I was working out like I was getting paid to do it. So I went through all of those things, and that's just to name a few. And I'm not unique. You know, we're all much more similar than we are different. And most of the things that girls come into me with today are the very same things that I struggled with 5 years ago.
We've talked about this before, but in terms of Girls Talk, what do you see, and with your clients back at home, what are some of their main concerns?
I mean, anxiety is so common, and 60% more so diagnosed in females. Depressive disorders, you know, like just really not feeling it. So all the things that I just talked about that I went through, that's what the girls are going through today. The message is not, oh, you're messed up, no problem. You know, we're messed up too. The message is, you're not messed up. Like, this is all part of the human condition. And anybody would be feeling this way in this society, right? So I often talk about social norms. And the messages that we females receive from birth have a significant effect on how we think, feel, and behave. The messages are to be thin and attractive, to dress appropriately, but appropriate is defined for us. You know, we don't get to define that. So it's like, stand up, no, sit down. You can do anything, ooh, but not that. And that really is kind of crazy making.
Confusion?
It's confusion. Yeah. And of course, if somebody's saying you could do anything, and then you're hearing all of these messages and thinking like, oh God, you know, I need to look this way, I need to be in a relationship in order to have value. Well, of course that's anxiety provoking. And when you don't meet those standards, of course, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed.
Man, woman, girl, boy, in 2017, there are a lot of pressures from society. One being the internet, social media. Do you think this has made it more difficult for girls?
Social media has a lot of benefits because we are all connected. But we don't necessarily get to connect in a meaningful way, which might explain why the levels of depression and anxiety are increasing. We're social beings having a human experience, not vice versa. Right? So social media does have benefits, though. I mean, I wouldn't know you if I didn't meet you through social media. And so it does connect people who may not get connected. But it really does depend on what you're following. If you want to feel good, follow positive messaging.
You found your voice. You're more comfortable in your skin after 4 decades?
4 decades.
4 decades. So that's fine for everyone who's still searching for that voice. What is the one thing you would tell your teenage self or your 20-year-old self?
Don't make yourself small. You know, fitting in is gross. There's no reason to fit in. You know, just by virtue of that phrase, fit in, means that you have to kind of morph in a way in order to do it. Yeah. And I was always so worried about being liked and being accepted that I made myself small in order to do it. When all I had to do was stand up and be me, then life got really easy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Lauren. Oh, God.